Gadot, that's his her name, Gal, right?
I think so.
I think so, right? I think that's how you pronounce it, right?
I
know. Now we're thinking about it. We should look this up.
There's an actor name. I think it's like Cam Gigadent. I mean, there's a few.
Cam Gigante.
Thank you.
That's how it goes. But yeah, I believe it is Gal Gadot. She was the one that's playing Wonder Woman. She was also in Fast and Furious 6. Yeah. She's a native of Israel. She's an Israeli. It is Gal Gadot. She tweeted out a couple of days ago. She was celebrating Shabbat, I believe it was, right? I don't know if you saw this or not.
I didn't.
You didn't. Because of the tension that's going on in Israel and Palestine and all of these things, Gal Gadot she's Jewish. She's from Israel. She's been getting a lot of she got a lot of blowback for that. About how people aren't going to go watch the movie because of this, and she's condoning the violence of what Israel's doing to Palestine. But I just wanted to give you a little side note. I mean, I want to say there's no reason to go after a woman who is Jewish, who is celebrating her religious beliefs, and then going to say that you're not going to watch her movie because she was celebrating that's what she is. She's Jewish, so. They're saying that she's condoning the massacre of Palestinian children and things like that. No. So it was kind of disappointing in the fact that don't let that taint the movie for you. And I think she'll be right now, even though I still don't think she embodies the look, because I always thought that Wonder Woman was a very full-figured female. Tall, full-figured female. But you know what? She has the look, and she looks great, and she's she looks absolutely wonderful in the suit after I saw it. So with that in mind, I just wanted to mention that. And I have to say that I'm one of those people I'm very political on the other side of my nerddom. But I will say, for them to attack her because she put up a Twitter about she was celebrating a religious holiday on her calendar, I thought was really strange, and how she's condoning what was going on in Palestine and things like that. There seems to be a lot of that lately that really is blurring the lines of almost getting to anti-Semitism, and I just thought, there's no reason to attack her for being for celebrating a holiday on her religious calendar for that, and so I just wanted to mention that real quick, and I'm with her because she said she was praying for everybody in Israel and things like that, and of course she would, because that's where she's from, for crying out loud. So, give her a break. And what's going on in Israel, between Israel and Palestine, has been going on for centuries. That's a holy war that'll last. That's biblical. So let's not misplace our anger here. Right. You know what I mean? So anyway, I just wanted to make a big shout out to Gal Gadot, that I stand with you, my dear, and I'm with you. Anyway, moving on. All right, now that we talked about that, we've got another movie coming out this week. Another comic book movie. Produced by Michael Bay. Directed by...
Is it Jonathan Liebsman?
Jonathan Liebsman. That's it. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles hits theaters this Friday. Now, from what you've seen so far, Professor Barry, and as familiar as you are with the Turtles, what have your impressions been so far?
Not good at all. I went, like a lot of kids of who are around my age and grew up around my decade. I discovered the Turtles because of the cartoon show, because of the movies, and then I went back and read the Eastman comic books and loved the grittiness of it, loved kind of the idiosyncratic nature of it. I love these characters. I love this. I love this core story. I really do. I think there's a lot of heart, and I think it's really odd and unusual, and I think it always did kind of bear itself to a grittier movie. I enjoyed TMNT a few years ago. I don't think the story was all that strong, but I think the rendering of the Turtles, I think bringing them into the CGI world, and I think really I just found that to be a very enjoyable movie, even though it's not necessarily a great film. This looks like a very, very crass attempt to just simply make the Turtles into whatever kids today will like. It feels like it's been market tested to the 9th degree even before a frame of it was shot. The way the Turtles look in the trailer, the way they're talking, to me it doesn't feel like they're really trying to do a necessary rendition of the Turtles, even making them relevant to today's society, as much as they're just trying to do something that will appeal to kids in the crass, openly crass way that the Transformers movies are. It feels like they're trying to be a little something for everybody.
Sure.
So I would be really surprised if this is a good movie. I really would.
Now, it has been getting some tepid reviews as of late for those that have seen it already. I will say that it is produced not just by Paramount but by Nickelodeon, who has the rights to this. So maybe they are, even though it is a PG-13 film, maybe they are trying to get, because of the popularity of the new TV show, maybe they are trying to get in that audience, and maybe they're trying to get the dads and the moms who watch it when they were younger in their teen years to get them on board to enjoy this thing. So maybe it is a crass attempt at it, but I think maybe that's a purposeful move on their part.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you're absolutely right. I mean, that's how it always works with these remakes. I mean, you remember little less than 10 yeyears ago, the MGM did the remake of the Amityville Horror.
Sure.
And it was a very telling...
That's with Ryan Reynolds and Melissa George, right?
Ryan Reynolds, yeah. It was a very telling ad campaign, because on the one hand, it was clearly a campaign meant to go, okay, kids, if you liked The Ring, you're going to love this movie. And kids who had never grew up with, have no idea what Amityville is, see it and go, okay, it's the new Ryan Reynolds movie, it's the new horror film.
Right.
Adults of a certain age will not only recognize the name Amityville Horror and the name, they'll also notice that in the trailer, they use the original music from the film. It's not in the movie,
right,
but it's in the trailer.
Right, you're right, it was. I never even realized that.
Yeah,
you're
right. The creepy music in the trailer. But anyway, all that to say, like, it was kind of what these remakes often do, which is that it's trying to go for the core audience that remembers them, and it's trying to reel in the young audience that has no idea what it is. So looking at the Ninja Turtle movie, it really feels like an attempt to sell merchandise more than it does to me an attempt to be a really good movie. I don't even know. I can't even get a semblance of what the story is. And I know story isn't necessarily always been the strongest point with these movies, but what is this film about? I see reels of action. It's clearly some kind of origin story. They're trying to reboot it, and certainly rebooting the Shredder character. But for me, this movie has always been an extension of The Karate Kid. It's always been at the heart a story of this master ninja rat raising these four turtles. So for me, that's always been the heart of this story. That's always been what I've loved about these movies. And this film doesn't really seem like it's going to have that.
Well, did you say Ninja Rat or Ninja Rap?
Rat.
Oh, Rat.
Although
okay.
Ninja Rap does apply.
I was going to say, because I love the Ninja Rap.
As do I.
I absolutely love the Ninja Rap by Vanilla Ice. And they released a new song for the new Turtle movie called Shell Shock, which I heard and it sucked.
It sucks.
It's horrible.
It's
absolutely horrible. It would have been better for them to just license Vanilla Ice's Ninja Rap song from the original movies anyway.
Yep.
That would have been super cool, but they didn't. Instead, they got a bunch of... Don't get me started.
Shell Shocked is terrible.
It's horrible.
It's up there with the Kanye West song that he did for the end credits of Mission Impossible 3.
Oh, Kanye.
It's torturous to sit
Kanye
through.
sucks too. He's horrible. I hate him. I can't stand him.
That's a whole other show, but yeah.
Did you? By the way, just a little another side note that I'd like to do. Did you hear his comment about how he thinks he equated how people treat celebrities now to what race relations were like in the 1960s?
No, he said that?
Yeah, he's an idiot. He's a freaking moron. I can't stand Kanye West. The more he opens his mouth, I think that the louder he speaks, the better, because everybody knows how much of an idiot Kanye West is. So
we should do a Kanye West quote of the week.
We should. I think he says outlandish things like that because he knows he can get away with it. But I think over all of that, he's an absolute moron.
Eventually, it will catch up with him because the ego. It's one thing if the music was the equal of the ego, but he's kind of inconsistent. Even his hardcore fans have to admit that some of his work is really good and some of it's really spotty and overproduced.
Yeah, it's horrible. And Kanye West is a terrible artist. He's not even a rapper. I don't even put him in the realm of hip hop. He is pop to the core. He's an absolutely horrendous artist, if you can call him that. I can't stand Kanye West. He sickens me.
What about his taste in women?
Yeah, that also sickens me. But whatever. She's another.
She's an actress.
I'm not even going to talk. She is an actress. She absolutely is an actress. You're absolutely right, but I'm not going to review her film because I heard it's awful. So, yeah, I heard it sucks. But anyway, that's cool. Anyway, moving on.
We were talking about the Ninja Turtles.
That's right. We were talking about the Ninja Turtles movie.
You're a fan of the original films, aren't you?
I am. I love the original films. They're a lot of fun. They're geeky enough and enjoyable enough to watch over and over again, I think. I think you and I should go see this film if there's a theater still standing after this hurricane. We should definitely go watch this movie.
Let's do that.
Let's do that this week sometime, and we'll talk about it next week.
We'll celebrate Hawaii surviving.
Right. The Hawaii surviving the hurricanes. We'll celebrate by doing a movie, and then we'll do our impressions of it like we did with Guardians of the Galaxy last week. Yeah. You guys can look those up, by the way. Those are still on our page. When you click on it through our Facebooks or through MauiWatch.com. It's still up there. It's all of our shows are still up there. You can check them out right now as we speak. Now, it's almost time for us to get out of here. But before we go, there are some notable things for our Netflix fix for the week. As of August 1st, Netflix has come out with quite a slew of new films on their plate. So just to give you a taste of what's out, first of all, the big thing that came out this week for Netflix is The Killing. The Killing was originally an AMC film or an AMC show, got canceled. Netflix picked it up, and they have actually done the 4th season. It ended. It was canceled during season 3, and they picked it up, and now there's a 4th season of The Killing. If you don't know what this is. If you don't know what this is or what it's about, I'm not going to tell you. I will say this, though. Read as little as possible as you can and just watch the show on Netflix. All 4 seasons are on there now. It's going to take a couple episodes to get into, but if you've never seen it, check it out. It's a great show. It's called The Killing. I think it got prematurely canceled by AMC. I'm glad Netflix picked it up because it's a good criminal procedural, and they get away with things on that show that they can't get away with on, say, regular network television. The Killing is great. It stars Joel Kinnaman, the guy from the new RoboCop.
Yep.
And I don't even know how to pronounce her first name. I think it's Muriel Enos. She's the one that's in the new Sabotage movie. Oh. She was also in World War Z. Okay. So she's in. They're both in The Killing. Check it out. It just came out on Netflix, 4th season. If you haven't seen it, start at season 1. I think you guys will be impressed by how cool it is. Secondly, on that list that is big, for you at least, 1994's Blown Away.
Oh, big fan.
Starring Jeff Bridges and Tommy Lee Jones.
Yep.
You wrote an article on Maui Watch about that.
Yes, I did.
Good film.
Great film. I'd say one of the most underrated action movies of the 1990s. It came out the same time as Speed, although I think it's actually a much deeper, more soulful film. Not necessarily a better film than Speed, but it's a similar Mad Bomber on the loose sort of action movie.
Bad accent, though.
The accents are bad.
Yes.
Performance is good. Which is typical of American movies.
Sure.
We can't do Irish accents to save our lives, but no, the performances, especially by Tommy Lee Jones and Jeff Bridges, are excellent. When the movie came out, I mean, not only is this a CGI-free movie, and I love those kind of action movies, at the time it came out, it had the biggest explosions ever captured in a movie. Michael Bay has since eclipsed that, but in 1994, this was a movie when they shot it, windows were breaking for miles because the explosions were so gigantic. And where else can you see Forrest Whitaker in a full-on action movie? This is a sweet film. I've always had a soft spot for it.
You know what's funny is that Blown Away also, for me, there's a bridge to that film that I think a lot of people a film that goes underappreciated. And that is the movie starring Jeff Bridges called Arlington Road with Tim Robbins.
Yeah, I love that film.
Great film. Yeah. And every time I watch Arlington Road, I always think of that film. I always think of, every time I watch Arlington Road, I think of Blown Away and vice versa. Two great films, in my opinion. Arlington Road not on Netflix yet, but Blown Away, I thought you'd like to know that. It's still on there.
Good to know.
I'm definitely watching that. Also on Netflix, they've for this month, they've released The Birdcage starring Robin Williams and Nathan Lane. Very funny movie, Mike Nichols movie. Yeah. Also, they've released The Cable Guy, which I think is a very underrated Ben Stiller film.
I agree, yeah.
I think The Cable Guy is probably, in my opinion, is probably Ben Stiller's best movie that he's directed, personally.
I'd have to agree with that.
Yeah. After watching The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, yeah,
Cable Guy is stylish and risk-taking. There's a great parody of the Menendez brothers within the movie.
Yep.
And yeah, Carrie and Matthew Broderick, that is a comic pairing I think I would love to see again. I thought they were wonderful together in that film.
I absolutely agree with you. Wholeheartedly. I think Cable Guy is underrated, and it's more than a cult classic. I think it's a comedy classic. Period. I think it's probably, for my money, I think it's